In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a playlist for Sunday. So we've created all of our songs already. They're all prepped and ready for use at the church. And now we need to actually put them in the correct order for use on a particular Sunday. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Ableton. We're going to go to File. We're going to open Live Set. And we want to select the first song in our playlist. So this week we have How Great Thou Art in the key of G. And I will say, not to not mess you up, you need to start from this Ableton folder. And then you need to go find the songs folder and then find the first song. So we're looking for How Great Thou Art, the key of G. There it is. And now we will open that file. We won't save what was previously done. Okay, so here's our How Great Thou Art file in G, and it looks fine because it's already ready to go. So now we need to import in or drag in the second song that we're going to be doing. Well, it just so happens that this particular Sunday, the second song is actually one that doesn't have a multi-track. So once this song ends, whoever's back here running this will just stop the playback or hit spacebar to stop it. And then the team will go into the second song. And then after that, there's a pastoral prayer that happens. And then after that, there are two more songs. So for those songs, we need to figure out, okay, what are those and bring them in to the playlist. So the next song that we are doing is called His Mercy is More. So we go into the songs folder because these are the ones that have been prepared for use. We can see His Mercy is More. We need to expand that down to get to the ALS file. We'll click that file and drag it to where it says Drop Files and Devices here. So now we've got that song, but it's over top of the other song, and so we need to separate these out. So here's what we do. We want to take the guide, from the guide up to the markers. We want to highlight this whole section, the entire song, those 4 tracks. And we're going to, the hand means you can move stuff around. So we're going to move these, and we're going to put those up here at the top. And we'll leave some space in between the 2 songs that will allow the person plenty of time to hit stop and then realign to hit play for the next song. Okay, so we have aligned those. We've put them kind of where we want them, and now we need to delete these. So I'm going to click the bottom one, hold down Shift, and click Markers. That highlights all 4, and now I'm going to hit delete those. And now we need to align our audio with the markers that we had placed at the top. So we will make sure that we have all of it selected. I'm going to make sure I'm actually able to select all of it here. Sometimes if you're, depending on where you're, how far you're zoomed in and out, see there's more over here. So that's what I was afraid of. I need to zoom to where I'm actually covering the entire song. Okay, we've got the whole song. So I'm going to drag all the way back to the beginning. For that drums through choir, and I'm going to move all of those, and I want those to stay in the same places, but I need to get them aligned with where the beginning of the click track and the guide are. So I'm just going to move these back over to the left, and now I've got my 2 songs. I zoomed out by hitting the minus button so I can see everything at once. And I've got 2 songs, and they are aligned. There's a couple other things that we need to do to clean this up. One is to group these tracks together. So easiest way to do it is to click on the first song's drums through background vocals, so hold Shift and click again. Then you can right click and group tracks. And if you hit Command R, you can rename this. And remember, this song was How Great Thou Art. How Great Thou Art. And now when I click this group track, it minimizes all of those and it kind of collapses them into one so it's easier to see. We'll do the same thing with the second song. So we'll click drums and then hold shift and click the last track. So that we have all of them selected, and then right click and group tracks. And you can click the group, Command R for rename. This track is this song is His Mercy is More. And then I can also right click and change the color. So that way I can clearly see when I minimize this. We've got 2 multi-track songs. One is in this red group, one's in the yellow group. I can see what the names of the songs are, and they're all lined up. Now, suppose that we are, and since this is actually our playlist for this Sunday, I'm going to go ahead and save it. So to save a playlist, the way that we do it here is you'll go to File, you will save Live Set As, and you will click in the General Abletons folder. You can see all these other ones that have been saved. And all you save it is by the date that we are actually using the song. This is 2021 dot 01 dot, and this is going to be for the 17th. So I'm going to save this as that. And you can see the date is up here. That way it's easy to find in case something gets messed up or it gets closed. Now, suppose that these 2 songs are actually supposed to be back to back, and not only are they back to back, but suppose that they're so back to back that the worship leader kind of wants them to fade into each other. So let me show you how to do that. So in order for that to happen, you kind of have to, there's a little trial and error, but we're going to zoom in a little bit at the end of this previous song, and we're going to select the guide, and we'll go all the way to the top. But we'll crop this off, let's say a couple measures. Okay, and we'll crop off the next one a couple measures, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's crop these off. And now what we want to do is we're going to end up taking this song and we're going to push it over to here. And when we do that, you can't overlap the markers, tempo, click, and guide. Neither do you want them to. But when we push this over to here, these audio tracks we're going to slide over to match, and that actually overlaps with this ending section of the song. So that's how you can get a nice crossfade between songs. So we'll zoom back out just so that we can select all of these, all that section, and we'll zoom back in a little bit so we can see what we're doing. We'll just click and hold, and we'll drag all of this right up into the end of the previous. And now we're just going to align our audio. So we'll zoom out, make sure that we actually select the entire thing. You can zoom back in to see better, and we'll click and hold, and we'll drag this over to match the start. And now these 2 songs have a couple of measures of overlap. So as that one's fading out, this one's fading in. And you kind of just have to listen to it and see, is that the right timing for the overlap? Maybe that's too many measures and you need it to overlap less. Okay, well then you'll just drag all this and move it over a little bit, and then drag this, move it over a little bit. And so you'll get your crossfade timing better and better as you listen and play around with it to make sure that it makes sense. Fairly simple. The last thing that I wanted to show you on this particular video is how to insert time signature changes. So you can see here on the first section that the previous song is in 4/4 and this song is actually supposed to be in 6/8. Now Ableton will automatically recognize the tempo change. However, for the time signature changes, you have to manually enter those in each time. So I'm hitting the plus button to expand, and if you go up here to where the cursor changes into a speaker and you right click, it says insert time signature change. So if you select that and then you type in 6/8, now it puts all the rest of the song in 6/8. But you can see that the song, this particular song, actually changes back and forth between 6/8 and 3/8. So what you have to do is you have to come to each one of them, right click, insert time signature change, type in the appropriate time signature to lock it in. You can see this 6/8 doesn't actually align with one of these grid bars. So now we need to actually zoom in enough to where the 6/8 actually aligns with one of the grid lines. Insert the time signature change, 6/8, hit enter, so on and so forth. And you can see as we drag along here, there are more of them to do. So this has to be done for all Sundays when you're arranging your playlist. You have to make sure that you double check your time signatures, because if you don't, Ableton doesn't know what time signature it is, and it will assume that it's the same as the previous song, and that song won't sound right and it'll be messed up.